Hey everyone, welcome back to the series. Today we're tackling something that frustrates people more than almost anything else about AI. Why does it sometimes sound so confident while being completely wrong? If you've ever fact-checked an AI response only to discover it made everything up, this video will explain exactly why that happens. And more importantly, what you can do about it. Let's dive in. So here's the scenario. You ask AI a question. Maybe you're researching something or planning a project or just curious about a topic. And it gives you this detailed, confident answer. The response is thorough, it's well structured, it sounds authoritative. You think, okay, great, this is exactly what I needed. But then, and this is where it gets frustrating, you fact check it. You look up one of the details it mentioned, and you realize everything was wrong. Not just a little off, completely fabricated. But here's what makes it so confusing. The confidence level never wavered. It didn't say maybe, or I think, or I'm not certain. It stated everything as absolute fact. So what's happening here? Is AI trying to lie to you? Is it broken? Is this technology not ready? No, something else is happening under the hood, and understanding it is crucial to using these tools effectively. Let me show you a real example of what this looks like. I asked AI, who wrote the book, The Hidden Algorithm? Here's what it told me. The Hidden Algorithm was written by Dr. Sarah Chen in 2019. It explores how machine learning systems make decisions and became a bestseller in tech circles. The book has been praised for making complex AI concepts accessible to general audiences. Sounds great, right? Specific author, publication year, context about what the book covers and how it was received, everything you'd expect from a legitimate answer. Here's the problem. This book doesn't exist. Dr. Sarah Chen isn't real. The publication year is fabricated. Every single detail is made up. But notice how it sounds totally plausible. It has all the right elements. If you weren't fact checking, you'd have no reason to doubt it. In the AI world, we call this hallucinating. When AI generates information that sounds plausible but is completely fabricated. Now, here's what's crucial to understand. It's not lying, it's not malfunctioning, it's not trying to deceive you. The AI is doing exactly what it was designed to do. And that's the key to understanding why this happens. To really get this, we need to go back to something we covered in the first video in this series. Remember, AI is pattern completion, not thinking. We covered this fundamental concept in our first video. AI doesn't think or understand in the way humans do. It recognizes patterns in data and predicts what should come next. And understanding this pattern, completion nature is the key to understanding why hallucinations happen. It's not a bug, it's the natural outcome of how these systems work. Let me show you what I mean. Here's what actually happens when AI responds to your question. First, AI looks at your prompt. It analyzes the words you've entered and identifies the patterns and context. Then, it predicts what words should come next. Based on billions of examples in its training data, it calculates what words typically follow similar patterns. Finally, it generates text that fits those patterns. Word by word, it produces a response that matches the statistical patterns it learned. Now notice what's not in that process. There's no fact-checking step, no verification, no truth assessment. These steps simply don't exist in the AI process. It's generating text that fits the pattern, not text that's necessarily true. Let me make this really clear. What AI does, it creates text that fits the pattern of how answers usually look. It generates plausible sounding responses. It follows statistical probabilities from its training data. It maintains consistent style and structure. What AI doesn't do, check if that text is actually true. Verify facts against reliable sources. Distinguish between real and imagined information. Assess accuracy or truthfulness. The fundamental issue here is this: AI is optimized for plausibility, not accuracy. It's designed to sound right, not to be right. And that distinction is everything. Let's go back to that book title example and understand exactly why AI generated something so convincing. First, AI learned that book titles often follow patterns like the adjective noun, the hidden algorithm. It's seen thousands of real examples of this structure. Second, AI learned that technology book authors frequently have titles like doctor and full names with common structures. Dr. Sarah Chen fits that pattern perfectly. Third, AI learned that books have publication years, typically recent, descriptions of content, and information about how they were received. So what happened? It generated text that looks exactly like a book description. All the individual parts are correct patterns, but the whole thing is fiction. It's like assembling a person out of parts from different people. You get something that looks human, but it's not actually any actual person. This is the question everyone asks. If AI is so advanced, why can't it tell me when it's making things up? To know something is wrong, you need a few things. First, you need a concept of truth versus fiction. Understanding that some things are real and others aren't requires consciousness and conceptual thinking. You need to check your answer against reality. This requires access to external verification systems and the ability to query them independently. And you need to recognize this difference. Being able to distinguish accurate from inaccurate information requires judgment and comparison abilities. AI does none of these. It only generates what comes next in the pattern based on statistical probability. There's no reality check module built in. And here's something really important to understand. How confident AI sounds has zero correlation with how accurate it is. A hallucinated answer can sound just as authoritative as a correct one, sometimes more so. I like to tell people that there's nothing more confident than AI. Well, maybe except for a 2-year-old who will tell you that they know how to tie their shoes by themselves. So why does this happen? AI sounds confident about made-up facts because confidence is part of the pattern it learned. Think about it. Most of the text AI trained on is written confidently. Academic papers, news articles, books, they're all written with authority. They don't hedge constantly or express uncertainty in every sentence. So AI learned that confident language is simply how information is communicated, regardless of whether that information is accurate or not. Confidence is part of the style, not a signal of truth. Now, here's something fascinating. AI hallucinations actually mirror a very human phenomenon. AI is built on human knowledge, and humans also hallucinate. We confidently remember things that never happened. We remember events we only heard about. Sometimes we remember experiencing events we only heard described by others. There's the Mandela effect, widespread false memories shared by groups of people about things that never happened. And suggested memories, studies show we can be convinced of remembering events that never occurred through suggestion. Here's the insight: our memories are also pattern recognition, not video playback. We reassemble memories from fragments, just like AI assembles responses from patterns. We're not that different in this way. But there is a key difference. Humans can question ourselves. We can feel uncertainty and doubt our own memories. We can check external sources. We independently seek verification when something feels off. We can we recognize uncertainty. We understand I'm not sure as a valid response. And we can learn and update our understanding. We revise beliefs when presented with evidence. AI cannot do any of these independently. It can't spontaneously doubt itself, seek external verification, or update its core training without human intervention. This is why human oversight remains essential. AI lacks the metacognitive abilities that help humans catch and correct our own errors. So, when should you be most cautious? Understanding high risk scenarios helps you know when to double check. Specific facts are high risk. Dates, statistics, exact numbers, precise names. These require exact recall rather than pattern matching. Recent events. Anything after the AI's training cutoff date is essentially guesswork based on older patterns. Obscure topics. When there's limited training data on a subject, AI fills the gaps by extrapolating from related patterns. And things that should exist. AI can invent plausible sounding things that logically should exist but don't, like that technology book we discussed. But AI isn't unreliable across the board. There are scenarios where it performs exceptionally well, explaining concepts, breaking down how things work, explaining processes, teaching principles. AI is great at this. General patterns, identifying trends, recognizing structures, finding connections. Common knowledge, well-established information that appears frequently in training data. And creative tasks, brainstorming, drafting, generating ideas, exploring possibilities. Here's the key principle. Pattern-based tasks work great. Fact-based tasks need verification. So let's talk about practical strategies for limiting hallucinations. Strategy 1, verify everything that matters. The simplest and most reliable strategy is to treat AI output as a draft that requires verification, especially for specific factual claims. Always verify specific facts. This is non-negotiable for anything that will be shared publicly or used in decision making. Especially check statistics and numbers, names and dates, citations and sources, recent events, and direct quotes. The golden rule: if it matters, check it. If it's going to influence decisions or be shared with others, verify independently. Strategy 2, request uncertainty. This is a simple prompt modification that significantly reduces hallucinations. Instead of asking, what are the main findings of the 2023 market research report? Try this. What were the main findings of the 2023 market research report? If you're not certain about specific details, please say so rather than guessing. Why this works? It gives AI permission to express uncertainty instead of filling gaps with plausible sounding fabrications. It shifts the pattern from always provide complete answers to acknowledge limitations. Other effective phrases: only include information you're confident about. Or, if you don't know, say, I don't have reliable information on this. Strategy 3, give AI the facts. One of the most effective ways to prevent hallucinations is to provide the source material yourself. Instead of asking, what did the Q3 sales report say about our top performing regions? Try, here's our Q3 sales report, paste the document, summarize the key trends about our top performing regions. Why this works? You're asking AI to process information, not recall it. Processing patterns is what AI excels at. You're playing to its strengths while avoiding its weaknesses. This works great for summarizing documents, analyzing data you provide, comparing information you supply, and extracting insights from your content. Strategy 4, use search-enabled AI. Modern AI tools with internet access can verify information in real time, dramatically reducing hallucinations for current events and verifiable facts. ChatGPT with browsing can search the web and cite sources for current information. Perplexity AI is designed specifically for factual queries with source citations. Claude with search combines analysis with verified information retrieval. Important note, these tools significantly reduce hallucinations but don't eliminate them entirely. Always verify critical information. But you can have more confidence in their factual responses. Here's the key insight I want you to walk away with. AI generates what fits the pattern, not what's true. This isn't a flaw, it's how the technology fundamentally works. And understanding this is essential to using AI effectively. AI is powerful at pattern work, analyzing, summarizing, generating, and processing information based on learning patterns. But it's not a knowledge database. It's not an encyclopedia or a search engine. It's a pattern completion system. So use it for the right tasks. Match the tool to tasks that leverage its strengths while accounting for limitations. And verify when accuracy matters. For facts, figures, and anything consequential, independent verification is essential. There you have it. This is part of a series dedicated to making AI concepts actually make sense, cutting through the hype and confusion to help you understand how these tools really work. If you found this helpful, subscribe. We're releasing new videos every week on fundamental AI concepts explained clearly without jargon or oversimplification. And if you're thinking about implementing AI in your business and you want to do it in reliably, understanding these fundamentals and avoiding the pitfalls, let's talk. Link to us is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.